Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today, the lovely Julia and I, Julia's not actually here, she hasn't changed and grown a beard by the way, have been on a copper sculpting course. We've had fantastic, we'll show you some pictures in a moment, but I wanted to talk to Gaz, who's been running this with Keziah at the Hands and Land project down here near Winchester, in glorious Hampshire. And you're a blacksmith, but you work with metals, that's your thing, isn't it? We've been working with copper, which has been absolutely fantastic. I've not done anything like that before, and for those that know that I smoke a pipe, I've made myself a pipe rest, I suppose, or a pipe stand, if you like, out of copper, out of a tobacco leaf. People may say it doesn't look anything like a tobacco leaf or anything like that, but we spent the whole day here. Tell me how you got into blacksmithing, and then I want to ask you why in this modern 21st century we need people like you doing and teaching these old skills.
So I got into blacksmithing at an early age when I sort of realised that I needed to make things.
Right. With your hands.
With my hands.
Yeah.
And perhaps I shouldn't let this on too much, but I'm quite interested in fire and what it does to metal.
Right.
And how easier it is to shape once you've heated it up.
Yeah. And we've been using copper, which is relatively pliable, but you use all sorts of metals, which of course people will know, the blacksmiths and farriers smashing on anvils and things. So we've been using light equipment, hammers and things, but you'll be wielding in your blacksmith's forge with much heavier and bigger metal.
Yeah.
And I guess each of these are different processes?
Yeah, slightly. I mean, different hammers, different tools, different materials. You know, it's all... interestingly enough, the blacksmith makes the tools that most crafts people use.
Yes.
And some of the tools we've been using today, made by me.
Yes.
To enable other crafts.
And that's the thing, isn't it? That you're making the tools in order to, and this would have been historic. And making the tools so that you can make, so people could build barns, they could build cabinets, they could build all sorts of things. We need the tool makers to do that right from the word go. How easy is it to be a blacksmith now? If somebody's watching this and said, this is exactly what I want to do, I want to get in there with the fire, with the metal and create, is it easy?
Well, I wouldn't say it's easy. There's a lot of rules against having a fire anywhere. There's a lot of resentment to making a noise.
Right.
There is a place in Hereford where you can go and train to be a blacksmith farrier, but you've got to have English and maths.
Really?
Yeah. As a step in, or be sponsored by somebody. So it's not relatively easy, but making a living from it, full stop, is the hardest thing to do.
Yes, like any sort of art these days.
Yeah. So I do find a lot of people hobby blacksmiths, which is interesting, and I try and encourage them.
Yes.
But that they need a day job where they earn money so they can pursue the craft, and it's the same with lots of crafts.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we've lost that the customer base, I suppose, who appreciate the time and the uniqueness of the end product, because everything is bespoke and unique at the end of the day, rather than mass produced.
Yeah.
So we know that we're in an environment now where, and we have been for 150 years, I suppose, where factories have come in, commercialisation has come in, and these old skills are dying out. Perhaps, as you said, with a number of people in the hobby world doing it. how important is it that people like you exist with that passion and can make it work and share that knowledge?
Well, I think it's massively important. I learnt off older boys a little bit, but even then they were shutting down. There was a lot of them disappearing because of mass production.
Yeah.
And without people that are doing the crafts, it's going to end. Where are we going to go for tools?
Right.
Where are we going to go for anything to be made one-off
Yeah.
and with passion?
Well, I was going to say, what do you get out of it? You know, why do you do it?
I do it because I love making things. I love somebody coming to me and saying, "Can I have this tool to do this?" and giving me a drawing or a description and making it, and them coming back and going, "Oh, that's just what I wanted."
Yeah.
That's why I do it.
And that's something that a lot of people don't know that perhaps they need in their lives, that satisfaction, that fulfillment of doing things. I mean, look at me, I've got blue fingers from working with the copper. Your hands, you've been working pretty much all your life with them.
Yeah.
But it's that connection between the human soul of us as who we are and the material world is so important, isn't it?
It is definitely important. It's almost as important as breathing air and eating food.
Yeah. And that's something, it's very difficult. Do you find it difficult to convey that to people when you're talking about what you do, when they think, oh, but I can just nip down to one of these big department stores or...
I do find it difficult, and it's made more difficult by the fact that they go online and order something and then they're disappointed.
Right, yes.
But, you know...
Because things don't last, do they?
No,
You
well,
know?
not only do they not last, there's a picture of something, there's no size reference, there's no quality reference.
That's true.
So...
It turns out it's always smaller, isn't it,
Yeah.
than you think? Absolutely. The land... Sorry, what is it called again? The Hands and Land. That's right, the Hands and Land project. What is that about?
It's about providing a space for craftspeople to live and do their crafts without paying massive amounts of money out. Because one of the things that stops craftsmen mostly is the massive rent on a unit and paying the rent or the mortgage on where they're living. So that is a problem, and it causes most people to steer away from their passion and their craft and go and do the 9-to-5 job so as they can pay the mortgage
Yes.
or somewhere to live.
And as people on this earth, it's my belief that we're here to have a good life, to satisfy our soul,
Yeah.
to be creative and inventive.
Yeah.
And it seems to me, and obviously it's not for everybody, because not everybody can do these things, but you get clearly so much satisfaction from doing what you're doing, as opposed to somebody perhaps sitting in a call centre under artificial light, behind a screen, sat on their bum
Yeah.
for 8 hours of the day.
I believe that if they pursued a craft, they would also be a happier soul. I think they do that because life has steered them there, and then they get stuck
Yes.
in that. Got to pay the rent. This is a job that pays the rent. I can't find any passion anywhere. So that's what I think happens.
Yes. So really you're one of these people who live to work in the kind of work that you're doing, rather than working
Yeah.
just to have a few hours off. You know, I mean, clearly, you don't get up in the morning and think, oh golly, I've got to go back to the forge and make this wonderful thing, do you?
I'm usually the one going, come on, let's light the forge. Come on, anybody interested in this? Come on. That's usually me.
And what do you see on a course like this that we've done today, where we've used our hands, we've used some tools that you've made, with instructions and help, but not doing it. You've let us do it all the time, which has been absolutely fantastic. And I can tell you, we thoroughly enjoyed it and got so much.
Great.
But generally, what do you get from the people who've never done anything like this? They've given it a go, and they go back with something they've created.
I see a smile in their soul, and I know that sounds wow, but I see them brightening.
They blossom, don't
They
they?
blossom.
Yeah.
Even if they feel that they haven't made a good job of it, they have learnt, and their heads have slightly gone up, and they've slightly sort of released themselves from that mundane
Yeah.
and it helps them lift themselves.
It is a real spark, because they go away. It seems to me, I mean, certainly from my point of view, that golly, I didn't know I could do this, and there's so many things that people, because of the rat race and the hamster wheel that we're all on, they don't realise the power they have and the abilities they have, and so well, I wish you extremely well with the project, and that we get more people in. We'll leave details how people can get in touch and find out about the courses that you're doing, so that they too can go home with that blossom, that spark of what you do. And of course, there are so many other crafts that are also dying out, that things like hedge laying and thatching and all these old ways, which can just make the difference to people's lives. Totally.
And they're important, because without them, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
You can't always go on the internet and go click, and that happens.
And everything that you make, I mean, this is something I feel very strongly about. Everything that you make, or any craftsman, when they make, say, a cabinet, or they make, in my case, a little pipe thing, is a part of me in that. And there's a part of you, and you've enjoyed and loved making it. When you buy something from a factory that's made by people who didn't give a monkeys about their job, there's nothing, it's soulless.
There's no love in it, and that's massively important.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for talking to me, and I hope within that you've seen some of the work that has been going on. It's still going on. We've officially finished, but people are still, you see, they didn't want to rush home, did they?
No.
They want to stay and just carry on. So thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. There we are. Thank you for watching.